This is To the Points with Jerry Azuma, and I have several bets based on my NFL primetime matchup preview. All right, guys, we have a doubleheader for Monday Night Football. First up, the New York Jets travel to Miami to see the Dolphins. Miami is currently a 2.5-point favorite, and the total for this contest is at 44.5 points. Now, this is a battle of the winless teams. Both teams are 0-3 and desperate for a win right now. Now, the stats show that both teams are pretty much evenly matched in overall offense and defense, and they both have weapons that are explosive offensively. We should see a great effort from both teams, and whoever loses this most likely will not make it to the playoffs this season. Let's get right to the points. Jets quarterback Justin Fields will get the start tonight. He missed last week's game, but he is a full participant in practice this week after being cleared from concussion protocol. He will look to connect with Garrett Wilson, who's the Jets' best and most productive option at wide receiver. Now, Fields is a serious threat on the ground, and the Dolphins have struggled against running quarterbacks, especially in the red zone. Because of this, look for Fields to take scoring into his own hands and score an anytime touchdown. Put some change on that. And the Jets' secondary and defense overall, they have several injuries despite playing hard. They will be without linebacker Quincy Williams and Jermaine Johnson coming off that edge. Now, the Dolphins quarterback Tua, he's been very inconsistent, contributing to a lack of offense and production. Now, something has to give. The good thing for Tua is that he has two wide receivers in Waddle and Hill that are dangerous, and they can score anywhere on the field at any time. Now, the Jets defense is vulnerable, and they do not have a takeaway this season. Pretty incredible. Now, last week, the Dolphins O-line protected Tua well. No sacks allowed. I anticipate Tua letting it rip deep to intermediate routes and letting his playmakers make plays down the football field. Put some change on Tua passing over 1.5 touchdowns tonight. Now, in the end, Miami is at home and getting healthier with some extra rest. The Jets will be without some ballers on their defense, and they're very vulnerable. I believe Justin Fields will be productive offensively, but overall, this is a bad spot for the Jets. I'm fading the home team. I have Miami covering the spread and eating their first dub. On to game number 2. The Cincinnati Bengals travel to Denver to see the Broncos. Denver is currently a 7.5-point home favorite, and the total for this contest is at 44.5 points. Now, last week, the Vikings put belt to ass to the Bengals, serving them their worst loss in franchise history. No Joe Burrow due to an injury, and the Bengals came out last week looking completely lost. Denver lost back-to-back games by the toe of opposing kickers. It's very unfortunate because the Broncos played well twice on the road, but failed to execute down the stretch, and it caught up to them. Let's get right to the points. We all know that quarterback Joe Burrow is out with the injury, and this offense is just not the same without him. Backup quarterback Jack Browning has to play better. He has to protect the ball, and he threw 5 picks in 7 quarters. That's not winning football, and that's going to get you beat every single time. Now, the offensive line has to do a better job with controlling the line of scrimmage. With that said, the Bengals absolutely have to get their running game going. This is a non-negotiable. If the Bengals don't get their running game going, they have no shot at winning tonight. Running back Chase Brown is averaging a disgusting 2 yards a carry, and he is hit in the backfield nearly about 80% of his carries. The Broncos are top 10 in defense rush efficiency. This might get worse for the Bengals before it gets better. That's why I'm taking Chase Brown to go under 55 yards rushing tonight. Put some change on that. Now, on the flip, the Denver Broncos have established J.K. Dobbs as their featured running back. Dobbs has become more efficient in every game, so clearly the Broncos have a goal of getting him touches to control this game. Dobbs has 222 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns through 3 games, and he has a history of success against the Bengals defense, averaging over 73 yards per game. Now, the Bengals defense has vulnerabilities. They have allowed 116 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns to Mason of the Vikings last week. Now, I believe Dobbins will be the workhorse for Denver's offense tonight. Put some change on him rushing over 62 yards and going over 13.5 total carries. Now, in the end, I really like Denver at home against a team that they can beat up on. I'm fading the Denver Broncos on the money line. All right, guys, this has been To the Points with Jerry Azuma. Make sure to like and follow, and thanks for listening.